Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm back here again for another review for One Punch Man. I'm going to be reviewing this time around episodes 9, which is the Unyielding Justice, and then episode 10, Unparalleled Peril. I actually really liked episode 9. There's a lot of different reasons why, but I think the most simplistic reason why is because of the devotion of the other characters, specifically like the guy that was on the bike. Like, I mean, the way that it ended last episode was Saitama actually finding the phone and the guy on the bike going the right way, and him in this episode trying to stand up against like this guy that basically destroyed most of the heroes he came in contact with, not killing them. It was really heartfelt because I'm sitting there watching this guy, and like even the crowd like kind of had me like, you know, tearing up to a point, because it was like they realized at a certain point it's like he's our last line of defense and there's nobody else to really protect him. And reminiscent of even like a firefighter or a police officer, what their jobs to do is be that last line of defense, and that's what this guy was trying to be, because shoot, Genos got jacked up. I mean, him trying to protect that girl caused like acid to flow over his whole entire body. And that's one thing I talked about with Joe last night, is that Genos is such a great fighter, but he's such a good person, and that leaves any hero up for grabs to get hurt, you know. And whereas Saitama, he's a great hero, but he's way more simplistic. He doesn't necessarily care after he's taken the job already done, just because he's so much more bigger. But the way that Saitama went up against this the Deep Sea King, I was like, that was one of the most epic moments that I've seen so far, because the punch that he wielded, like, I'm sitting there watching, this is rain pouring. It hit with so much force that all the rain just stopped. And I was like, wow, that's symbolic. I'm like, where does Saitama get this, you know, energy from? But then one of the other things I thought about was that even in spite of all that, it was like people still weren't accepting of him, and it was really hard to actually sit there and watch. It was like, man, really after all that, they're still trying to call him a fraud. But that's what a real hero would deal with. He's dealing with all the negative effects of it, and that's one of the reasons why I like this episode so much. One of the things that did happen is that he did get a upgrade to his class, and so instead of him being like a C, now he's a B. But then even in the end, like where he kind of ended up meeting and talking with the guy on the bike, I was like, this is really cool. This is really cool. But I was thinking to myself, where is this gonna go? Because it ended too nicely. And so I was thinking that the next episode is going to be crazy, or at least leading up to something really crazy. Because I think at the end of the episode, this madam, whatever her name is, that predicts like future disasters at all times, she got so agitated, she was freaking out. And that was what happened at the very end. She was like, we're not going to make it, basically. And so this episode, Unyielding Justice, I actually give it a 9.5. I thought it was one of the better episodes because it showcased a lot of raw power that Saitama had, but at the same time, a lot of heartfelt things that were going on with the dynamics of the other heroes. Because the decision that Saitama made at the end of this episode and what he says, it brings validity to all the heroes. Like, even though they don't necessarily need to be there, like he could just do it himself. And I really like that about Saitama. It made me more respect him, as well as like think of him like a character like Goku. If y'all hear me kind of like congested, and I'm really actually feeling pretty bad, dealing with some stomach issues, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but I'm still trying to get over that, so just bear with me. Next episode is Unparalleled Peril, and I'll read the synopsis for this one. Saitama and all the S-class heroes are gathered together to be informed of an imminent extremely dangerous threat. So this episode showcased a lot of different people. One, it showed Silver Fang. Silver Fang was the older guy that kind of was trying to, you know, inform Genos what to do when the asteroid hit, and you find out that he's a certain class is really high up there, as well as other characters such as Atomic Samurai, who we helped train. It was weird because one of the guys that's supposed to be one of the strongest, he didn't even show up. But it was a lot of interesting little characters in this one. And they all seem like they're the strongest of the strong. One I wanted to see, I think her name is Aion, because she's the first one that shows up, because it was like this Godzilla looking creature that shows up, and she puts a stop to him really quick. And it's interesting to showcase her power, like her raw power. I was thinking to myself, if anybody, could go up against Saitama, it might be really her. Because if she has the ability of controlling objects, whether she control actual people, if she could use his own power against him, or his own body against him, then how can he really beat her? So I'd like to see them kind of go up against it, but that wasn't what this episode was about. It was more about the impending threat that the Hero Association was finding out, that before they had like this one classification, just Dragon, which is second to last, but the last one, which is they've clarified now, this is God level. And so it was in things that started attacking, the building, but then all of a sudden you find out like this is huge ship, and like I can tell this is gonna be insane, just because when they started bickering and arguing and stuff like that, I was like, they're gonna need each other. Like that's just the build up between all of it. But it was curious to me is that once Saitama like kind of told them like about the girl's prediction, because that's what got brought up, he was like, even though she said 6 months from now, it could be right today, and everybody was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, that's when everything started kicking off. So after that point, like Saitama goes and takes matters in their own hands, and like I was like, this ship starts shooting out these huge bullets, and not only is he dodging them, but he is kicking them back. Like I was sitting there watching this dude. I was like, not only in his fists, do a lot of damage, but his whole entire body. And so it's really crazy to see what he starts doing to the ship and anybody that's inside of it. So I'm more than anything for this episode, this is kind of like a prelude into what's gonna happen. I'm thinking that this could build up to be one of the best season finales, just because like I was thinking to myself, there's not been anybody that's been strong enough to really stand less than 5 minutes against him in a fight. So they have to give that to us, like somebody that at least is formidable. And anybody from outer space that has technology such as that, they're gonna have like the big ultimate boss. And so I'm pretty sure that that's what we're gonna get. So I think that what I'm gonna do for the very last episode, not episode next, which is 11, but the very last episode, I'm thinking about just literally doing like a live stream, and not a live stream, but a live reaction. So y'all actually see me reacting to the whole entire episode. It's gonna be kind of hard, but I think it'll be really cool. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. If I had to give this episode, I'd give it an 8.5 because it was really good build up, really good prelude. A lot of good backstory between all the villains, not the villains, but the heroes. I would like to have seen a lot more of them in the beginning of the season. And unfortunately, the season itself, like, it's only 12 episodes. So we're not going to get much more of their development other than them interacting with each other against this huge threat. So we'll see what happens. Will Saitama get to that S-Class? Will he fight somebody that's stronger or just as strong as he is? And what's going to happen? So hopefully y'all enjoyed this review, and keep me lifted up in your prayers. I'm going to continue to drink soup and try to relax and take medication as much as I can. Alright, y'all. Stay tuned, stay locked until episode 11 and 12, which I will be reviewing really soon. Peace.